So I've been in high ticket sales now for multiple years, and I've been able to personally do something that no one else has done before in the space, which is that I, as a non-native English speaker, I'm from Sweden, currently make over $40,000 per month in the space. And the funny thing is, I started off being super insecure, having just bad communication overall, and being very introverted. And I've still been able to get to this point for a lot of pain, trial or error. So because of that, I'm gonna share in this video a live training that I did for some of my beginner students, guys that I work with inside of my one-on-one, my paid program, where I basically just hop on with them and I do a live sales call, a role play with them, where I show exactly how I run a sales call, how I find someone's pain, the questions that I ask, how to build a gap on the call, how to run the entire call with the totality, the energy, everything you need to know. I'm gonna show that live and also show you me giving them feedback on their calls as well. So it's gonna be super valuable. Make sure you grab a notepad, take notes, and let's dive into it.
So I'm thinking we'll do this. I'll pick one of you guys to just start it and just run through it because I want to hear how you guys do it. I'll give you feedback, and then based off that, like where I see you guys struggle the most in it, I'll do one with one of you guys and just show how I would do it, so you can see like how I use stuff you say. And then we just do like a couple more of that, depending on how much time we have. Who wants to start? Who wants to like go first with as a salesperson?
I can go first.
All right, man. Who wants to be the prospect?
I'll be the prospect. And Nikki?
The rule is like you can only use his previous answer to ask your next question. Like you always need to tie in what they said before in the next question.
So I can ask new questions, but I have to use the context.
Yeah, exactly. And it should always it should be just like you basically, he says something and you like use it to justify the next question throughout. And then you can basically like dive into the first question. You don't need to do the intro. We dive into the first question, and the focus is getting into the pain. You can go into the solutions as well if you want to, but like the main focus is like getting to the pain, and then I'll just pause you when I have feedback, or we can wrap it up.
Okay. So why are we on the call this time?
Yeah, well, it's my job, to be honest.
Well, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm a lumberjack, so.
Okay. But like, why are we on the call? Why are you looking to get into high ticket sales?
Yeah, looking for some more free time on my end and maybe make some more money.
Okay. And I guess what have you seen that makes you feel like you don't have that free time with the job?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm like cutting wood like 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. So yeah.
Okay. And when you say freedom, like what do you mean, like specifically?
I mean, just like, do some stuff for myself, like have some free time on my hand, maybe go out to some restaurants or maybe, explore a little bit of the world.
Okay. You don't have freedom right now?
No, not much.
So you work like 24/7?
I said I work 10 hours a day, man, not 24 hours.
Okay. So you don't have freedom right now?
I mean, of course, like I have a little bit of freedom, but not like that I could just, leave. You know what I mean?
Okay, pause there. Pause.
Yeah.
So what could you ask different when he said, because now you're kind of going in circles, like asking the same stuff. But it was one thing he said, he was like, okay, I work 7 days a week, 10 hours per day, whatever. What could you ask there instead to go deeper on it? And anyone can answer, Nick or anyone else.
Like what kind of impact does it have on you?
Or yes, like what is it you don't like about working those hours?
Yeah.
What does that prevent you from doing, or what is that? What's the like? Why do you not like that? Basically, a very simple broad question.
Yeah,
I would always go for I would always go for like why do you not like that, or like what is it you don't like about that, over how does it impact you? Because impact is always like a bit more. It's kind of like how does that make you feel? It's kind of create some resistance sometimes. So I would just use that, and then you get straight into like the pain. So let's start from that point. Let's ask that question and keep going from there.
Obviously, like working those like 12-hour days, like why didn't you like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't have like a lot of time for myself, like I wake up and go to work and then end late and then I'll read a book, but that's it. Like I can't really, enjoy myself. So yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been, working those hours for?
12 years.
Okay. And I guess what kind of like changed recently that made you want to look into something else rather than just, continuing the job like most people would?
I mean, I've always like felt that way because this is my dad's company, right? Like he's a lumberjack as well, and he kind of taught me how to do it since I was a kid. So I just followed his footsteps, but I realized that it's not necessarily something for me. I want more out of life than that.
Okay. And I guess like you kind of like, you know, working those hours, like how's that
Okay.
like impacted you?
Pause. Okay, so no, I'm being a bit more like nitpicky, but that's because like we're doing this exercise with like right now those two
Yeah.
missed opportunities here. He realized that he doesn't want to do this anymore. He realized like when someone says that, like he realized there's something that happened, you know, like something drove that, something happened, you know. So I would just ask him, God, what made you realize that? What specifically happened? So you need to be like, there's a lot of stuff that if you look at like, the answers he's giving you, there's a lot of stuff that you can just like kind of look at as, okay, this is something I need to dig into. Okay, like you should have like, I mean, almost in your head, like you should be listening for these like keywords, like, okay, I realize I need to make a change. Okay, boom, there's something behind that. And I'm gonna ask what made him realize that. Previously in the call, I don't remember what you said specific. Yeah, it was like, I can't enjoy myself. Something he said as well. What does that mean? We don't know. It's kind of vague. I would ask a follow-up question on that as well. It's like, okay, when you say enjoy yourself, like what do you not feel like you're able to do right now specifically? Or what do you mean by that? You know, just figuring out what does that mean for him. Does it mean like going out with friends, doing some fun stuff like social life? What does that mean for him specifically? You know, so more focus on the words he's saying, like more like listening for keywords, listening for like emotionally loaded words. Is that the right word? Emotionally, like words with emotional weight behind them. Always like be very attentive to those type of words. And when you hear something like that, that's something you want to probe on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
So let's recap from that first question. So he's saying, okay, I come home from work and whatever he said, like I better have time to like read some books. I don't have time to enjoy myself. Let's go from there and then probe deeper on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say you like don't enjoy yourself, like what do you mean like specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like time to like spend with my family and with my friends. So it's just I'm very lonely at the moment as well. So yeah.
How do you probe on this?
Anyone? Any thoughts? What could we ask right now to get deeper? And yes, like yes, for context, like on a setter call, we don't need to go this deep. Yes, for like all guys context. On a setter call, it's going to go into like his identity and everything. But this is practice for closing, and I just like to get into the habit of just if you go super deep, it's easier to go from like tuning it back a couple of notches and like taking it from going 5 layers to like 2 layers instead of going deeper. You know, so yes, you guys know. But like here, what can we ask in this case to go deeper on what he's saying if we want to go deeper?
So so what did Stein just say? So he said, why don't you enjoy yourself? And then Stein said, what was your answer?
Like I don't have like time to hang out with friends and I'm like pretty lonely at the moment.
So I guess you'd go into like, how does that make you feel? Like what impact does that bit have?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like when someone says I feel lonely, like then using the impact question is perfect because then they've already started sharing a lot of emotions. So they can ask like, how does that impact you? Or like, what's that been like for you? Or it sounds pretty rough. Can I ask like, how is that impacting other aspects of your life? Or how has that been taking a toll on you mentally? You know, when someone shares something very emotional, you can like go pretty direct with that, go deeper.
But that's the deepest layer, no? Like after I say like, how's that affecting you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's do that.
Okay. So yeah, so I guess like you saying you feel kind of like lonely. How's that like affecting you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely took a toll, like the state of my well-being. You know, I'm a little, I would consider myself a little depressed at the moment.
Can you go deeper here?
What do you think? If
I
he
mean,
says
I could say like what do you mean? Or like how's that affecting you again? I don't know.
yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. This is the right way of thinking. This is exactly my point here. Is that we can always go deeper. We can get into like, okay, with you being depressed, like help me understand like how is that showing up for you specifically? Is that affecting? Because you mentioned before you have a family. Like, is that affecting your relationship with your wife? Like, you can definitely go deeper and tie it to different problems for sure. So if you would go deeper, what would you ask in this case?
Like, how is
I'd
this
probably
affecting
ask like
day-to-day life?
Yep. So you look at like the Maslow's pyramid of like different human needs. You can tie it back to like significance, tie it back to like relationships. You know, like feeling like if his depression is like affecting his relationships, you know, and that's making like, let's say relationship with his partner works. That's a big issue right there. Or like friendships or whatever, you know. So like if you get tied to either other areas or just like probe into like what is actually like the specifics, paint the picture more clearly, you can do that. But you could also like at this point, if someone is like this open, you can also just move on with it, you know. But for this example, I would probe into it. So let's ask a probing question, like one layer deeper, and then you can move on.
Okay. So I guess like you kind of like feeling a little bit depressed and working those long hours, like how's that like affecting your like family life?
Yeah, I mean, like my wife and my children, they tell me all the time, like you're so negative, and that energy like reflects onto them as well, and like they feel negative around me as well. But I try to switch it. I try to be positive, but it just doesn't work.
What did you try to be positive?
Well, I try like meditations and stuff, but it
Okay.
hasn't done anything for me.
Okay, but I guess like specifically in those like 12 years, have you tried anything to kind of like get out of the situation? You know, maybe you get into something new, spend up more time with the family.
No, because it's all I ever known.
Why not? Okay, you kind of
This is all
answered
I-
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was like, now we got very deep. That was good. Like we got deep into the pain now, very deep. Then like, so just quick note for all of you guys, like when you gotten that deep into the pain, the easiest way, because it can feel very unnatural to go from like pain to solutions. You know, like he's trying, like I'm depressed, my family is like disappointed in me, and then it's like, okay, what have you done to fix this? The more empathetic way to move on is, God, man, I hear you, sounds rough or sounds like a lot, you know, like something to label what he's feeling, lower your tonality, and then how long has that been going on for? Or how long have you felt that way for? Or how long has this been happening for? Because that's it's like it's a follow-up question, but it's still taking you forward in the call. Because it's like, yeah, it's been happening for the last 6 months. God, and then like I guess like during those last 6 months that it's been going on for, what have you been doing so far to kind of get you out of this position and get more freedom, get more time with your family, etc.? What have you tried? Again, it makes the call naturally, makes them feel heard, but you still move on. Did anyone raise a hand or no?
Yeah, it was me, but you kind of answered the question. I was like thinking about like the time frame, since it's a really good question on the pain.
Yeah. So that's always like you when you get someone's pain, you like just probe until it's super specific. When you have a clear pain, then it's like attached to a time frame, it becomes bigger. You know, something's been on for 5 years, it's a bigger problem if it's been on for like 5 minutes, obviously. So you get that, expand the pain, and then it naturally leads you on to, okay, this pain going on for 5 years. The natural next question is, okay, what have you been doing to fix this? That's how a conversation will naturally flow. So let's say if we go back, okay, we got the pain. Now we go into, okay, how long has this been going on for? And then we go from there.
Okay. And like, how long has that been going on for? You kind of like feeling a little bit depressed?
Well, ever since like my dad passed away, so about a year ago.
A year ago. Okay. Sounds pretty rough, man. You know, you going through all that stuff. But I guess for you, like specifically, like what if you kind of like tried to get out of that situation?
Nothing really, because like my dad taught me how to do this stuff, and when he passed away, I kind of just want to kind of like keep up his legacy in a way, you know. But I realized that if I just keep on doing his thing, I won't be living my own life, and I need to choose myself right now.
So, I mean, have you been looking into like anything to kind of like choose yourself?
No,
Why not?
I mean, I don't really know much about this, like remote stuff and online sales. So yeah,
But I mean, have you looked into anything like else than, you know, sales?
no.
Okay. So here I'd ask him, I don't know here. Like I probably should I like ask him about sales specifically here? Like how like I don't know.
I would ask is, well, like, why not? Right? Like he has a big problem. It's been on for a long time. He hasn't looked into anything to fix it. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, well, because I was looking at like other jobs, but it's not like online. But it would have just been like the same thing for me. So yeah,
How so?
it's just repetitive, just the same stuff.
Okay. But I mean, I'm sure you could find probably a job in an office where you don't work, you know, 10 hours, right?
No, I don't have a degree.
We want like the intention here is that we want to figure out like, because you look like zoom out a bit, like instead of just focusing on the question we're asking and like, okay, the script and like what says in there, is that okay, what is what is happening right now? Like, what do we know about this guy? Okay, he has this pretty big or very big pain at this point, for a long time, and he hasn't really like done anything. He doesn't have a degree. We figured that out, so he can't get like a different office job. He's kind of tied into this, but he also like he has the opportunity to during this last like year, he could have gone out and like started an online business, tried making money online. You know, he hasn't done that. He hasn't like taken the steps to figure something out. So we have to figure out why that is. So now you figure out, okay, like he doesn't have the degree, got it, sure, but like other than that, like what's been preventing him from going out and like finding something else and like at least trying something, you know? That's the next question.
Okay. So I guess like besides, you know, not having degree, like in like the past year, like what's kind of like prevented you from actually like taking the action and like actually like solving that problem?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess it's just like me feeling like restricted, or maybe like
What do you mean?
self-doubt, like that I'm not good enough for that, because like cutting wood, like me being a lumberjack, that's all I've ever known. And that's all I ever did.
Right. But like, what do you mean like restricted?
I don't have any other skills.
Now, like it's important to not listen to his words, but like what is this guy saying? Again, anyone can answer like what do you guys think? Like if someone says like I'm restricted, I don't have any other skills, I'm so used to doing this. He's not saying the answer, but like what is the thing that's holding him back from trying something in that case?
Uncertainty, doubt.
Yeah, exactly. It's doubt and like can I do it, basically. So this is important things, like listen to what they're saying, like what they're trying to say, not like the words they're saying. And then what I would ask here is like, okay, got it. So it sounds like it's a bit of like it's doubt. You can label it. Sounds like it's a bit of doubt, and you kind of unsure if you can do something else. Has that been what's been holding you back? He's like, yeah, exactly. Got it. Got it, man. So like, what are your thoughts around that? Like, do you feel like that's something that you're kind of ready to do something about and actually like overcome, or like where do you feel like you're at when it comes to that?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to change it. Yeah.
Okay. And why is that?
Well, because I'm not currently happy with my life right now. So yeah.
Right. But I mean, you haven't changed anything in the last year. So like, what's making it important to change now as opposed to just, you know, waiting another year?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I mean, I'm also getting older, right? And even though I am pretty negative, you know, for the past couple of years, I do want to provide for my family because I do love them, and I think they deserve better than what I am right now. So yeah.
Right. So you're ready to kind of jump into something now?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, good. That was all about good question there with like why you haven't done anything before, why do something now? Kind of like pushing back when he's saying. You see, like the reason why that lands because like you're using context that he gave you before in the call. You're just like pointing out inconsistency in his behavior. You said this before, you haven't taken action before, but now you're saying that you want to take action. Like, why is that? So that's good. Yeah, the small thing that's like when you get that commitment at the end, I wouldn't ask him like, you're ready to jump into something now. That's a pretty like most people are gonna be like, what do you mean? Like, if I'm ready to jump in, I don't know what this costs, I don't know what this is. Like, jump into what, you know? So the question would be, okay, so do you feel like you're ready to kind of take that step and like overcome that doubt and actually do everything you can on your end to actually make something happen and take action on it? Or how do you feel? Is this more focused on like this has been holding you back? Do you feel like you're ready to overcome that instead of like, do you feel like you're ready to jump in something?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. All right, so let's wrap it up there. What are your main takeaways, Nick, from that?
Like for me personally, I just need to get better at probing. That's my takeaway. But now this was good. But I think it's really just, again, as you said, like it's being less tied into my script and my framework and just like more just listening to what they say.
Yep, 100%. For sure. It's about like that's what all of you guys like. You need to study the script, know the process to the point where like you know the process so well that you know like different parts you need to cover. Okay, problems, pain, solutions, so that you can come into cause and like it's completely detached from the script and only focus on person. It's like that's a contradictory thing with this. Like in the beginning, you learn the script because you need to have something to stand up on. You can't just like not know any process at all. You need to have the base to stand up on. But then it's like when you come into calls, you need to like trust your ability to ask the right question naturally when you just focus on the person. So it's kind of like it's using your intuition in the call, which comes from knowing the process in the first place. So like you need to study the process, know where you're going, know what you need to cover in the call. Then you hop in the call and you're fully present with the person. Cool. Okay, let's do this. I'll do a setter call with Albin Setter. Who wants to be the prospect?
I can be the prospect.
Okay, let's do it. Oh yeah, we'll do the same thing from start, and I'm just gonna probe into it. So make sure you guys like really think about like when I'm asking questions, like why am I phrasing stuff like I'm phrasing it, and like how I'm just finding stuff like the words that I'm kind of latching onto in what he's saying to go deeper. That's the main thing to focus on. Yeah, man. All right, cool, Jacob. So tell me, man, like why we're here. What has you looking into doing high-tech sales?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds fun.
Got it. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds just challenging, I guess.
Okay, got it. Sounds fun, challenging. So I guess like what has you specifically looking into doing something like this? Yes, I'm following.
I guess like to get another skill like sales, since I'm in bank, I'm a bank manager, and we quite don't do some sales there. So I just want to develop as a person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a dad, so I just want to be the best dad, I guess. Like just develop, maybe further on, like homeschool my kids, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. So yeah, yes, I'm following. Like, would the goal for you be to replace what you're doing right now and be able to like get out of that so you can be like at home with your kids, like you said, or what's like the ultimate goal for you?
I wouldn't say like to replace the start. I just want to first of all just get something like maybe sidekick, maybe have something extra on the side.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay, and then like long term.
Yeah, probably. I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Makes sense. So the main thing is just like being able to eventually like be at home, be with the kids, not have to like work from office pretty much.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, got it. Anything else?
I mean, I think you said it. Just to be with the kids.
Got it, man. Makes sense. So like right now you're working like in office, like only, or are you working like from home as well? Like the other flexibility to be remote sometimes as well.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Are you able to like be more than that remote, or is that like you can only be 2 days per week at home?
Yeah, most of the time, like only 2 days.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. So like I understand like you mentioned before that big thing is like okay, being home with the kids. Like why is that like important to you? Why do you want to be able to do that more than you're doing right now?
I mean, they're growing up. I mean, I think all the dads think it's important, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. All right. So I guess like with you being at work like 3 days out of the week right now, like what do you feel like you're maybe like missing out on that you would want to be a part of by being away that time?
Yeah, I mean, like them growing up, I guess I'm away like 3 days at least a day. I mean, it's a lot if you like think like what they're doing like 8 hours a day, or like
Mhm.
maybe probably more. I mean, it's eight hours of their lives I'm missing out of.
Gotcha. Anything like specific that's been like happening that you've been missing out on like recently, or?
Yeah, I mean, my first kid started their like first class, and I guess I just wanted to drive him home.
Mm-hmm. You weren't able to do that, or?
No, I was at work.
Got it. Got it, man. Can I ask you like with that, like for you as a dad, like you have obviously like sounds like you're very driven by your family and like with your kids and stuff, and so that's a big motivation for you. Like, would you not be able to do those things right now, and not be able to be with them, and like you said, missing that first experience, like driving them home from school? Like, how has that kind of been for you? Like, how does that impact you?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it isn't great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, in what way?
I don't feel like I'm the best dad.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How long have you like felt that way for?
I guess yeah, I mean, they were 5 years old, so I guess, yeah, 5.
5 years?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a long time. So I guess like during those 5 years, like sounds like it's a pretty big thing. It's like it's not a yesterday thing, right? The 5 years, quite a long time of feeling that way. So
Yeah.
like during this time, like what have you been trying so far to like fix that? You know, like getting something that's gonna allow you to have more time with them, be there, What have you been looking into so far?
I mean, I just focusing on the job. I'm a bank manager, so I just scaled, like developed in that role since I started like kind of low, but now I just I was just all in on the job. But now I'm like one of the best roles in the job, so I just need to think outside the box, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So, and when did you realize that you are not gonna be able to like have the time freedom that you want and like need in this like line of work that you're in right now?
It's like 1 year ago.
1 year ago. Got it. So I mean, like since then, since you realized that, have you looked at anything else like outside of the bank stuff?
Yeah, kinda, but I mean, I quite didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what did you look at?
I mean, some other jobs, some other like roles from my skills I have, but all I quite lack some of the skills to like land a better job that is more flexible. So yeah, it's really hard to like find something.
Okay, so you haven't really found anything like in the same kind of industry and stuff.
Exactly, and that's why I'm just trying to learn sales.
What about like when it comes to like online stuff like this, you know, high ticket sales and others, obviously there's a lot of different business stuff. Like, have you been out there looking at different online opportunities or not really?
Not really.
Okay, why not?
I'm kind of new to everything. Like I quite like couldn't handle a computer like from some years ago. So yeah, I'm just kind of new to this space. I'm
Sure.
kind of old school.
That's fine. But I guess like over the last year specifically that you realize that you have to kind of do something else. You're not going to get the freedom in this job that you're in. What have you been looking at like online during this time, if anything?
Yeah, online I haven't been looking at like so much.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know. I mean, it's a new thing. I didn't like. I just wanted to find something like old school.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. So guys, I help me understand one thing, because you mentioned like a year ago you realized like in this field that you're in right now, you're not really able to have that like time freedom that you want, right? So you realized that 1 year ago, but you also like over the last year you haven't really been out looking for like online stuff. So yes, I'm following like after realizing that, like what's actually been in the way of like you looking for other things you could be doing like outside the field that you're in right now? What's been holding you back?
I guess the clarity of like the online space, since I'm kind of new to everything, so I just thought it was kind of scary to like earn money online. I mean, it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, man, that makes sense. I hear from a lot of people. It's like obviously it's a new space, especially for yourself. Like you said, if it's like something you've never done before, it's new, and obviously new stuff is scary and it's different. So I guess like when it comes to that, that's pretty much for everyone that we have helped, and like overall, it's something you need to overcome, and obviously like take a step in something new to get that freedom that you want. So like, what are your thoughts around that? Do you feel like that you're going to a point now where you kind of ready to actually like after this year like try something new and actually like overcome that fear, or what are your thoughts when it comes to that?
Yeah, I mean, I need to.
Okay, why is that?
Yeah, I mean, since if I don't do anything, then I'll just be stuck at my job.
Mm-hmm. But it's like it happens like, because you also said like for a year this has been going for, and you haven't really like tried something before and like taken that step before. So like, what's different now? Like after this time of like you said, it's been on for 5 years. It's not a yesterday thing, right? With you not feeling like you're able to share with your kids and stuff. Like after all this time, like why now actually like do something about it and overcome the fear?
I mean, enough is enough. I mean, they're growing up, they're remembering more and more. So I just need to, find something. And I'm starting to like get more clarity of like the online space. I took this action like to do application. So I think like I just need to do something.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're very like driven to make a change. Do you feel like you're in a place now where you're actually willing to make that shift though, and actually really that's another day, like that's the hardest thing, right? Like as humans, to overcome fear and make meaningful changes in our lives. So like, do you feel like you're at a place right now where you're actually ready to overcome that fear and actually like make a change to get to those goals, or how do you feel?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. We can wrap it up there. I think that's the most important part. After that, we move into the goals. Okay, let's say able to get something at the start of then. And obviously you said before, like biggest thing is being home with your kids. Can you paint me the picture of what that look like for you? And get some like tangibles of what he wants to be able to do, get him to like step into that, and then okay, how much would you need to make to get to that point to replace the income? That's it. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, it was hard to be hard on you, since I mean, you asked like the questions, it was easily for me to answer. Like, yeah. So it's hard to me to like say one word question, since it wouldn't make sense.
Yep. Anyone else got any takeaways? You guys should have some key takeaways from that. What I did there.
Yeah, I definitely did. I think when you was saying when you got to the point where he said he's missing out on their day for his kids, I think that's probably where I might have moved on. But then you said, what are you missing out on? So then you got like, so he's missing out on their day, and then you went, what are they missing out on? And then he went into like specifics of like seeing them play football, like this, that, and the other. And then it led into him saying that he's like not the best dad. So then and then from there you moved on to like, how long has that been a pain for? So I guess that's when you got to the final like part to move on to.
100%. Yeah, good takeaway. Anyone got any other takeaways from this? You want to share?
I think it's pretty much the same as he said, right? Because it's like when you actually get the prospect to like fit within that identity.
Yeah.
That's like that's the deepest pain. If someone's like, I'm a bad father, or I'm a bad like husband, or something like that,
Exactly. And it's like the takeaway here for you guys is like a couple of different things. Like number one, I get very, very specific. If you notice like throughout the call, when he's like everything he's saying, like I'm just trying to break it down into like the most factual like facts I can get. So like, okay, I don't have any time, I can't be with time I spend time with my kids, because he pretty like early in the call he shared like I don't have time with my kids. There's so much more behind that. Like what specifically does he miss out on? Why is that important to him? There's so much like unpack there. So it's like not accepting vague stuff, going into the specifics, and being like relentless with that, like really, really digging into it. Same thing with when he started talking about the solutions. I haven't tried anything to make money online. You see, I didn't like just accept that. I asked like 4 or 5 questions to like clarify like why hasn't been, or when did he realize that he has to do something else? Because I need that context, right? If I know, okay, a year ago he realized he has to do something else, then I have a lot of like leverage there to challenge him. Because for a year he's been knowing he has to do something else, he hasn't done anything. I can challenge him and like push back, why haven't done anything during this last year? A lot of times if you miss that, if I wouldn't have asked that, then it's very hard to like put responsibility on him, because you don't have that context. So that's why it's like super important, especially like in the past part of like digging into what he's been trying and the solutions. Get very specific there. Same thing in the pain part. Like the more specific you get, the more you can actually challenge and like push back and get clarity. So that's the first thing, is just seeking like massive clarity. And also it kind of ties together with like what I'm doing with like I think to myself like in the call is like, okay, based on what he's telling me right now, what could the potential pain be for this guy? What could be the big driver for him? And then it's like ask questions to confirm that. So in the beginning it's like, okay, he's telling me it's fun and like he whatever, like he's super vague stuff, so it's like kind of ignore that, and it's like keep asking the same question. When I start getting some stuff of like, yeah, I don't have I want to be able to be at home, I want to be able to be remote. Okay, he's probably not remote right now, so I'm going to ask him, is he remote right now? So I just like collect context based off of like what he's telling me to like figure out what could the pin be logically. Okay, I want to be able to remote, I want to be able to be home with my kids. Okay, I'm logically going to understand like, is this guy remote right now? No, he's working in office. Okay, how much can he be remote? We need to like figure out like, is there a logical problem there? Okay, yeah, he can be remote 2 times a week. Okay, why are you not happy with 2 times a week? Why do you need more than that? Why is that important to you? Yeah, because otherwise I'm missing out on these certain activities. Why is being at those certain activities important to you? You see, like he's like every single step is like clarify on everything he's saying. And that's when you get specific, and you need to be like very, again, relentless with that. Clarify. And then like when you get deeper, you can be like, okay, that's like, for example, when he started sharing about, yeah, I miss my kids' events and whatever, I kind of connect things together. You told me you're a dad. It sounds like being with your kids is super important, because that's the first thing you share on this call. And you're in this job where you can't really do that. So I got to ask you, man, like with this going on, like how does it impact you? So you connect everything together. Like you said this, you said this, and like use that to ask very powerful questions as well. and almost like ask, you make a theory in your head of what could be going on for him, and you just ask a question using other context to verify that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think as well at the start of the call, something I noticed is he said like the fun thing, and that would have been like a curveball for me, but you just like you didn't waste time there. You just said what else, like what else, until you found something that's actually like more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of cut through the BS like very quick there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's also the thing. Like if you hear something that there's nothing to dig on, like it's fun. When I was just interested, like if I hear an answer, like how I think about it, it's like a non-answer. You know, like I ask a question,
Yeah.
that is like it's not an answer, so I don't put any weight into it. It's as the same thing again, basically. Who wants to do a quick role play?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Let's do it. Who wants to be the prospect?
I'll do it.
All right, let's get it. So let's do from like the first question until he's like getting into the pain, clarifying, and then we'll just wrap it up at like how long has that been going on for? So we don't need to go into solutions.
All right. Okay, Nick, why are we on the call today?
Yeah, I just want to get into high ticket sales.
Why's that?
I mean, I've been looking at like getting into it for a minute, you know, like just watching videos and stuff. But I feel like I want to like actually like get into it now.
Got it, man. Why specifically do you want to get into high ticket sales?
Just because like I don't want to work like a 9 to 5.
So you currently work a 9 to 5.
No, I'm in college.
Oh, okay, you're in college. What year of college are you in?
Like last year.
Last year. What is it that you don't want to work a 9 to 5 for? Like any particular reason?
Yeah, it's just like I just don't feel like it's what I want to do, and like I want to do something like special with my life.
What would be special for you?
Something where I could have like freedom.
Is that something that's important to you, having freedom?
Yeah.
What kind of freedom do you mean?
Like just the freedom to like, you don't have to be anywhere at any like specific time. It's just like you can kind of like decide what you want to do yourself.
Do you feel like that's something you don't have at the moment?
Yeah, no, because I have to be in classes in college.
Got it, man. So you feel like you can't, so you feel kind of like stuck. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Got it. And how does that kind of impact you like day to day? Does it make you feel like there's things that you can't do because you can't travel? Like,
I mean, I don't really feel like it impacts me that much right now because I'm in school. I'm just thinking like long term, like, you know, after I graduate, it's just like, you know, everybody's gonna get a job, and I'm like, I just don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
got it. So you've kind of seen what's in the future for you and like that kind of path, and you just feel like that's something that you want to avoid. Basically, is that route?
Yeah.
And is that because like of anything specific? Like you just feel like if you went down that road.
Pause here. So this is really good, like, because I don't think we've talked about this before for you specifically, Toby, with like handling young guys. Like you're doing the right thing though, regardless. Like we're digging into, okay, this someone who's in school right now. The pain isn't where they're at right now. The pain is like in the path they're on. So the question here we just want to ask, because now you're going into like more suggestive question, and like you're asking
Right,
like
yeah.
this is the issue, you know, you want to be like, okay, why is that? Why is that so important to you to not go into 9 to 5, or what is it you don't like about taking 9 to 5 path? So let him, like, that's how you get more open responses. If you ask what you're about to ask right now, it's gonna get more like a short response. I want to really get into open up. So it's like, I'll just change this question you're asking right now to it's like, okay, why is that? Why do you not see yourself in 9 to 5? Let's do that.
Got it. Okay. So why is it that you don't see yourself being in a 9 to 5?
Because I just saw like my parents, like they just had to like slave away just because my dad, he like worked like really long hours, and it's just not something like I want. I want to like, you know, have freedom and like, you know, be like have the freedom and like to do anything really.
So talk to me a bit more about that. So you said that you saw it firsthand with your dad. Like, what kind of things did you see?
Yeah, he worked. He's still working as a plumber, and he's like working really long hours, and it's just horrible work.
And like, what kind of an impact has that had? I guess like seeing that grow when you're growing up, like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean he's not there with the family, or like, tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just like you see, like when he comes home, he's just like so like tired, and he just doesn't want to do anything. And I'm just, imagining if that's like me in the future, and I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to do that.
Got it, man. And like, how long do you feel like you've been witnessing that? Like, how long have you felt like this? Or I should probably say that differently. Like, how long? Yeah.
I'll always be like, when did you realize it? Like, when did you realize?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, so when did you realize that you didn't want to live that way that you've kind of witnessed your dad living?
I think it was like a year ago.
Got it, man.
Cool. Right. Let's wrap up there. That's solid, man. Really good stuff at the end there. Getting specific, tying stuff together, and like at the end of the day, like what you did here is like getting very specific on what he experienced with his dad. So like you latch onto something, you get like an overarching like, why does this guy not want to go into 9 to 5? We find something, and we it's very specific on like what's going on there. Like you guys see, like when you ask open-ended questions, you let them speak and like give them what actually matters to them, or give you what actually matters to them. You will find stuff, and if you just like listen attentively, you will find stuff like this. Okay, my dad was like a bad example. I don't want to be in the same position. If you prevent that, you will get him to really share the stuff that matters to him, and now you get him to open up. So those are a really good example, for sure. The only takeaway there would just be like in the beginning when you're going into finding that pain, ask more like open-ended questions, more okay, why is that? What do you mean by that? And just clarify what he's saying instead of asking like more these assumptive or like suggestive questions.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no,
Cool.
that's what I was gonna say as well. Like I was definitely doing the thing where I'm like guiding and suggesting. I need to go and cut that out.
That was solid because that was a new like kind of curveball prospect as well, like someone who's in college, because for them the pain is always in the future.
So that is it for this training. I hope this was valuable for you. Now it's up to you to go out and actually implement this stuff on your own and take this value and actually do something with it. If you want my help one-on-one to get trained properly on high-ticket sales and get placed into your first role in this industry one-on-one directly by me, you can apply down below for my mentorship, booking a call, or shoot me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.